Dear students, welcome to my channel. In this video, we shall do chapter number 8, Adjectives, Degrees of Comparison. Read these sentences. Kian is a tall boy. Vihan is taller than Kian. Araf is the tallest boy of the three. Tall, taller, tallest. Now, students, in this chapter, we are reading about adjectives. What is an adjective? An adjective is a describing word. What does an adjective describe? It describes a noun. So, over here, the noun is boy, and the adjective which is describing the boy is tall. Okay, now in the first sentence, the word tall is an adjective. When we talk about the subject, that means Kian is the subject here. About whom are we talking? We are talking about a boy named Kian. There is no comparison being done. Now, Kian is a tall boy. There is only one boy in this sentence whom we are talking about, and that is Kian. Okay, so Kian is our subject, and tall is the adjective over here. Now, in the second sentence, Vihan is taller than Kian. So now, students, how many subjects are there? There are two subjects. One is Vihan and the other is Kian. Now, when there is a comparison between two subjects, we use the comparative degree of adjective which we shall study. Now, when we talk about the subject Kian, there was no comparison being done in the first sentence. Adjective is then said to be in the positive degree. When no comparison is being done about the subject, then we call that adjective to be in the positive degree. However, in the second and third sentence, there is a comparison between other subjects, Vihan and Arav. In the third sentence, Arav, who is the subject, is the tallest boy of the three. Now, how many subjects are there? One is Kian, second is Vihan, and the third is Arav. Now, when there is a comparison of the adjectives with more than two subjects, then it comes to the superlative degree of comparison of adjectives. Now, in the example, we notice that than comes after the comparative degree and we use the before the superlative degree. As you can see, when we this is the positive degree of comparison. Kian is a tall boy. What do you understand? Here only there is only a describing word or an adjective, and that adjective is in the positive degree. Okay, there is no comparison. Why? Because there is no other person whom the subject is being compared to. Here, your subject is Kian in the first sentence, and we are just describing Kian. Kian is a tall boy. Now, in the second sentence, Vihan is taller than Kian. There are two subjects, Vihan and Kian, and there is a comparison between their heights. And we are saying Vihan is taller than Kian. So, when this comparison is between two subjects, we use than, which comes after the comparative degree of comparison. Okay, after taller, we use than. And in the superlative degree, we use the because if we are comparing RF, the subject, to all the other subjects in the sentence. Okay, so we use the. This you have to remember that we use the before the superlative degree. Okay, so these are the important points which you have to remember. Now, let us study in detail formation of degrees of comparison. Here are some rules that can be used to change an adjective from positive to comparative and or superlative. Okay, what are the three degrees of comparison of adjectives? Positive, comparative, and superlative. In comparative, we use than after the comparative degree of adjective, and in superlative, we use the before the superlative degree of comparison of adjective. So remember this. Now let us see some formation. How are the positive degrees of adjectives changed into comparative and superlative degrees when we add er and est to change positive degree into comparative and superlative forms. Now, bright is an adjective. Okay, it is in the positive degree. To make it comparative, we will use er and make it bright. To make brighter into superlative, we will add est to bright. Okay. So comparative we add er and superlative we add est. Okay. This is how you will remember. Similarly, black, blacker, blackest. Comparative and superlative degrees are formed by adding er and est. Bold, bolder, boldest. Clever, cleverer, cleverest. Cold, colder, coldest. Okay. Now with words ending in e, there is another formation for words or adjectives which end in e. We simply add r and st at the end to change from positive to comparative and superlative. Now, first thing we did is first rule was we just add er and est. Second is we have to keep in mind that there are few words which end in e. Words ending in e. What do we do for such kind of words? We simply to convert these kind of adjectives which end with e, we will just add r and st at the end of that word which is ending in e to change from positive to comparative and superlative respectively. Okay. For example, see this adjective brave. Okay. Now this is an adjective which is ending in e. Fine is an adjective which is ending in e. Close is an adjective which is ending in e. Able is an adjective which is ending in e. Large is an adjective which is ending in e. How do you change these kind of adjectives which end in e to the comparative form? You will just add r to make it comparative and you will just add st to make it superlative. Fine, finer, finest. So these are small, small things which you have to remember. For adjectives which end in e, what do you have to do to make it comparative? Just add a r. To make it superlative, just add st. Similarly, close, closer, closest. Able, abler, ablest. Large, larger, largest. Now, for some words, we repeat. There are few words in which we repeat the last letter of the positive degree and add er and est. Now, what are these kind of words? They are your words like big, dim, fat, hot, mad. So, how do these kind of words change? Now, this is ending in G, this is ending in M, this is ending in P, again, this is ending in P, and this is ending in D. So, basically, you have to remember for some words which end in G, M, P, and D, what happens is in the comparative form, it becomes we double the last word. Big becomes double G, and we add ER to make it comparative. And superlative, we add another last consonant and add est to make it superlative. Dim again double M er dimmer. Dimmest double M est to make it superlative. Fat double the T and er double the T and est. Hot hotter hottest. Okay. Similarly, mad, madder, maddest. You have to remember these few things. Now, in certain words which end in Y, how do the change takes place? We change the Y in I before adding ER and EST to the positive degree. So, we read for words which are ending in E and we read for some words which end with G, M, T, H, D, G, M, T, and D. How they change? Now there are some words which end with S. These are what are these words? These are the positive degrees of adjectives which are ending in Y, like busy, dirty, easy, funny, and happy. How do you change it to the comparative? In these kind of adjectives which end with Y, we remove the Y, okay, and we add IER to make it comparative. Remove the Y in dirty and add IER to make it dirtier. Remove the Y in easy and add IER to make it easier, which is a comparative degree. Next, funny. Remove the Y, add IER, funnier. Happy. Remove the Y, add IER, happier. Now, Superlatives are formed by removing the Y and adding IEST, busiest. Okay, dirty, remove the Y and add IEST. Easiest, IEST. You have to remove the Y and add IEST to make it superlative. Funniest, happiest. Keep practicing all the students so that you get the flow of writing down the correct answers. Okay, all these things can't be learnt in a day. You have to keep on going through these words every day. At least for 5 minutes every day, you need to go through such words. Now, there are some words the Y does not change to I. Okay, like in busier, like in busy, it was changing. We were removing the Y and changing it to busier, busiest. But for some words, the Y does not change to I. We add ER and EST after the Y. Like gray is a word which ends in Y, but we do not remove the Y and make it grayer and grayest. It becomes gray, grayer, grayest. Okay. Now, for some adjectives, we add more and most for changing into comparative and superlative, respectively. Like there is a positive degree of comparison of active. Now, active becomes more active and most active. So, what are we doing here? We are adding the word more and most over here. Okay, active becomes more active and most active. Similarly, attractive, more attractive, most attractive. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Brilliant, more brilliant, most brilliant. You have to remember these few words. Now, there are some adjectives which have got irregular degrees, like it is not bad, badder, baddest. It is bad becomes worse, and worse becomes worst. Okay, you have to remember these. Bad, good is better, and best. It is not good, gooder, goodest. It is good, better, best. Similarly, little, less, and least. Old, older, or elder, and oldest or eldest. Far becomes farther or further, and to it, farthest and furthest. Now, write the comparative and superlative degrees of these adjectives. Heavy becomes heaviest, heavier, heaviest. Quite, quieter, quietest. Nice, nicer, nicest. Intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent. Good, better, best. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Little, more little, most little. Bold, bolder, boldest. This will come to you with practice only, students, so you have to go on practicing daily. Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of adjectives in the brackets. The adjective is given hard, which is in the positive degree. Diamond is the dash of all natural substances. There is more than one natural substance, including diamond. So, because there is a comparison between one and more than two substances, okay, therefore, it will come the superlative part will come. Diamond is the hardest of all natural substances. I think swans are dashed than ducks. Here you can see that there is a comparison between one subject and another subject. Only two subjects are being compared here. So, positive degree pretty becomes prettier. I think swans are prettier than ducks. This is how you will approach. You will see how many subjects are there. Can you name the dash city in the world? Now, in the world, there are many cities, so we will use the superlative form of the adjective large, which is the can you name the largest city in the world? Prevention is dash than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Good, better, best. Because here we are comparing prevention with cure. Only two things are being compared. Therefore, prevention is better than cure. This was the dash question of all. There were many questions, and this one thing is being compared to many, more than two things. Therefore, this was the most difficult. Difficult is the positive, and the superlative thing. Why we are taking superlative? Because there are more than two questions. which are being compared. So this was the most difficult question of all. Stone is dash than wood. How many things are being compared? Stone and wood. Stone is more heavy, or stone is heavier than wood. Indore is dash than the other Indian cities. The adjective is clean. So Indore is more cleaner than the. Why over here than is being used? So you can take it as a hint that here it is a comparison between two things. Okay, Indore and other Indian cities which are taken into one whole group. Okay, so we will use Indore is more cleaner than the other. The other definite article is being used, therefore we will use more cleaner, not most cleaner. Jupiter is dash planet than Earth. Jupiter is we will use the article a over here because we are using talking about something, only one thing. Jupiter is a bigger planet than Earth. Okay, we have to include the article a also. Now rewrite the sentences after correcting the errors and the degrees of comparison. Today is the longer day of the year. Today is the longest day of the year. Why longest? Because we are comparing today with all the remaining 365 days of the year. Swami is more brave than Rajan. We are comparing one subject with the second subject. So we will write Swami is braver than Rajan. Next, the white wizard was wise than the grey one. Now, we were comparing how many subjects over here? We are comparing a white wizard with the grey one. Can we see what we are going to write? We are going to write comparative degree. Why? Because than is there. So the white wizard was wiser than the grey one. This story is simpler than the other one. Simple becomes simpler. Why? Because we are comparing this story, one story, with the second one. Two things when they are compared, we take the comparative degree of adjective, and over here we can also say that we have used than. Therefore, it will be the comparative degree. My computer game is most fun than Rajesh's. My computer game, I am one subject and Rajesh is the other subject. So there is a comparison between two subjects, and the word than is also there. So we will use not most fun but is more fun. Okay, or my computer game is more funnier than Rajesh's. The freshly baked cake was hot and fluffier. The freshly baked cake was hotter and fluffier. Now, hot, it is ending in T, so double the T and add ER. My teacher is the most patient than I am. Now, here, my teacher is being compared with me. Okay, there are two comparisons, comparison between two things, between me and my teacher. So, my teacher is more patient than me. Okay, this room is biggest than my bedroom at home. Now we are comparing this one room with the other bedroom which is at home. So two things when they are compared, we use the comparative degree. And how do we know that we have to use a comparative degree here? Because the word than is also present. So this room is bigger than my bedroom at home. Okay. Next, fill in the blanks with the correct comparative form of the adjectives in each sentence. This movie is not very funny. In fact, it's a dash movie I've seen all year. It's the most boring movie. Why most? Because we are comparing one movie, this movie, with all the other movies that I've been seeing all throughout the year, more than two movies. So we will use the superlative degree. Superlative degree of comparison is used here. That is most boring. My suitcase is too heavy. I need to find a dash one. There is a comparison between two things. Okay, my suitcase and another suitcase. My suitcase is too heavy. I need to find a lighter one. Cheetahs are known for their speed. They are dash than any other land animal. The word than is there, so they are faster than any other land animal. Living in a big city can be expensive. It's dash than living in a small town. It's more expensive than living in a small town. More expensive, most expensive. Okay, students. So this is how you will understand statements of comparison. Next, the fifth one. Don't worry, things will get better. They can't get any worse. What is the degree of comparison of bad, bad, worse, and worst? Okay, so don't worry, things will get better. They can't get any worse. Climbing a mountain is dash than it looks. Climbing a mountain is much harder than it looks. This room is dash than my bedroom at home. The word than is being used, and one room is being compared to the other bedroom. So there is a comparison between two things, this room and my bedroom. So when two things are being compared and the word than is present, then we will write big becomes bigger. We will use the comparative form of the positive degree of adjective, where this adjective big is ending in G. So we double the G and we write ER to make the comparative form of big. Elephants are dash than any other land animal. Positive degree to be used as strong. So elephants are being compared to any other land animal, any other. Okay. And the word than is there. So what will be the degree of comparison? It will be comparative. So elephants are stronger than any other land animal. Okay, students. So with this, we come to the end of your chapter. Now, the what is the main thing that we learned here? We learned that the degrees of comparison for adjectives are three kinds: positive, comparative, superlative. Main thing we have to keep in mind is comparative degree of comparison is used when we compare two things. When we compare one thing with more than two things, then we use superlative. And what are the different rules you have been taught in this video? Please go through it on a daily basis so that at the time of exam, it is easy for you. If you need any other topic to be taught in detail, students, please let me know in the comment section. I will make a separate video for it. Thank you, students. Please subscribe, go through my channel's playlist, go through the two linked videos related to degrees of comparison for better understanding. I will be linking to adjective related videos also here. Go through them. Thank you, students, and all the best.